Hi, I'm Min from PonderEd Education. As I just started making short video, which I just finished it, and I will start to making the videos, and also that the writings will be there for the how to teach autism children. As I have one, and then he's grade 9 now, and I have experience, and I developed this methodology through that applying my son. So it will be useful for you to actually to make it to develop thought processes, thinking power. Now for that, as a beginning of this, the methodology of the how to teach autism children, that I'll start with some of the things that you need to aware as a parent. Okay. So the first thing is, don't rely on the education that provided by the society. There's an ABA, speech language pathologies, and occupational therapists, and all these therapists are there, right? But these therapists, even though they are developing the methodology to suitable for the autism children, they're more likely designed by the people who are thinking in language, just like you. Let me ask you to do some of the experiment, just a quick experiment. Try to picture that anything that you can think of. For example, like a fishy moving, salmon moving in the water, migrating. And try to picture it. And what I'm asking is that not just like trying to image a little bit of it, just to try to picture just like when you are dreaming, as real as possible. Are you going to be able to do it? Probably it'll be very difficult for you to do. It's better, it'll be easier to think in language. You have to think about your child is thinking differently from you. If you are parents, then you probably watched the TED talk that Dr. Temple Grandin, the biologist, that gave in the TED. In the TED talk, what she was mentioning about is that she said she is thinking different from others. Other people thinking in language, she says she's thinking in pictures. This is your child probably thinking in pictures as well, if your child is an autism. Now that's the big difference. Now thinking in pictures, what Temple Grandin said in there was she mentioned that it is a way of thinking of animals. But from my opinion, it's not. It's not. Animals don't think in that way. Because from my logic, what happens in the animals is that they just see and respond. Yeah, there's a dreaming part is still there, but in the normal, general, active days, that what they do, they just respond. See, respond. See, respond. If that moves there, that moves here. Based on the movement, they just determine where to go. Basically, every single moment is gambling. When lions are hunting, chances to catch, probably just like a gambling, like a 50-50, I don't know exactly, but not very high. Okay, something like that. So that's gambling. So animals don't think in pictures. Animals just respond that what happens as they see. Now, human brain has two different thinking patterns. One, language, and second is just like dreaming, imaging. Just like what Dr. Temple Grandin says. So she said she's inside her brain, all these things are simulation can go in, she could tweak it and she could make connections with in pictures. Now, think about your child if they are thinking in pictures. Are you going to be able to really talking to them? And are you going to be able to make a really communication flow? No, you cannot. It's not going to be easy. in human brain, there are three different ways to connect these thinkings. The Dr. Temple Grandin thinks in pictures, and she was able to connect with the language that what she's thinking. And what proves it? She gave a talk at the TED. She expresses her thinking as a language, and so that to be able to, so she was able to deliver to the people who are watching it, like me. That's the differences. But your child, if you're having those kids right now, your child probably not at the moment cannot really connect it with their thinking with language. Now what you need to work on, you need to make their thinking into language, connect them together. That's what you need to do. That's what the real education has to be. So that you can start communicating them and then make their brain to work to be able to think and determine based on their thinking. For the future, they are the one that are living independent life. And as in biological processes, you're the parents and you're the one, unless there's an accident or something, you're the one who will die first. So you will have to make them to develop their brains so that they can determine what to do by themselves. And the way is you need to find the way their thinking in pictures connect with the language. And if you're severe parents of severe kids, then there's another one. Severe autism kids, they don't have language development skills, many of them. Then what you need to do, make a connection from their thinking into letters. The letters, basically the wordings that are in actual the papers, either papers or computers or iPad or tablets or whatever it is. That something that you can connect with their pictures, thinking pictures into the language that is written, and then gradually connect. At least they are able to listen. That gradually connect with language that you are using. So it is you who has to have it. For that, first thing is something like ABA. ABA is, from my viewpoint, is more likely, especially focusing on the social. Their thinking is different from others, and they cannot really communicate with others. That if you are trying to develop the social skills, it's not going to be easy. Especially when you're training your kids to be repetitive training with the repetitive acts. That's like training dogs for the polices and militaries use. Okay. And think about yourself. That if you are being trained like with them, are you gonna enjoy? Well, there could be some kids who could enjoy it, but not many of the times. So now you have to minimize this. Minimizing means that not using ABA at all is not what I mean. Minimizing it meaning that you need to apply that method only for your child's safety. If your child tries to jump across the street without looking at, you have to train them actually not to do, to prevent. So just in case that when your child is off your hands, then you need to train those safety with ABA, not anything else. Last of them, what you need to do is you need to develop the methodology to make your child's thinking in pictures into the language, making a connection. That's what you have to focus on. Okay, and second, you are the one who has to be the communicating with your child, like SLP or these therapists. These are the secondary. The primary is you. You have to communicate with your child, and for that you have to think about this. If you don't like, let's say someone you're meeting with your friends and you talking, and then your friends orders you to do this, do that, then what do you think you're gonna feel? Probably you don't wanna communicate with the person, your friend, right? So if that thing happens with your kids, then your kid will stop the communication with you. Then these thought processes, that communication, developing the communication skills from their thinking pattern with your thinking pattern, is not going to work. Okay? So you list to yourself all the things that you don't like when you're doing communication. For example, when you hear from your friends or something, whoever that order you to do something, or when they're trying to teach you some same thing over and over, and if you didn't like it in school, that the learning in a certain pattern, if you don't like it, don't approach to your child with that same method, because you have to communication only flows when they are open-minded to you. Okay, so think about this, and then next time I'm gonna go step by step that how to approach, and the methodology that how to have their thinking patterns to make a connect with language.